Kirko Bangz briefly saw the limelight of the rap world sometime around 2011 with his signature slurry flow, earning him early comparisons to the likes of Drake and Lil Wayne. He came into mainstream rap following the release of his first two singles, What Your Name Is, and Drank in My Cup. These singles set him on a higher standard than the average rapper and had people yearning for more. However, due to multiple delays in releasing his debut album and his previous works fading away, with time he fell out of the limelight and rap.
I don't want no backup plan. I got this and that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna make sure I make this pop up.
Well, okay, so let's have that conversation. You said this or nothing.
Yeah.
Kirko generated two well-known mixtape series, namely Procrastination Kills and Progression. He had a loyal fan base, so why did he fall out of favor with the public? What led to his early demise? Let's take it all back to the early stages of Kirko's career, how he rose, what he did well up there, and the beginning of the end. What up guys, Ali here and welcome to Ali Talks Music. Add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music as well. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now let's get into the video. Kirko Bangz was born Kirk Randall around the 20th of August 1989 in Houston, Texas. He and his siblings grew up with a single mom who struggled financially to raise them. This formed part of the inspiration for Kirko's music, igniting his passion for the art.
Now we go to Wood Forest with my homies and spend the nights with them, and sometimes I'll stay with them for months and months at a time just because I know that made my mama feel terrible, and I apologize for that, but make myself feel like I could be in a different type of situation, you know what I'm saying, because struggling and not having no money is not fun.
Wanting so much to help his mom, he decided to follow the path of prominent rappers at the time and began practicing his skills at the age of 15. He attended Prairie View A&M University, which was known for having raised hip-hop talents like Party Boys, Daro, and the famous DJ Premier. He eventually settled on Kirko Bangz as his moniker, partially due to the fact that it sounds similar to the late Kurt Cobain, the lead singer of Nirvana, an artist he was a big fan of. While at Prairie View, Kirko was able to better focus on his music and dedicate his time to his craft, using the university as a means to network and get his name out there. He soon dropped out due to his success in order to follow his dreams of being a rapper.
You know, I ain't tall now, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really grow until I got to college, and I all of a sudden like 5'8", 5'9". So
did you finish school?
I went for 3 years, and then this rapping stuff started popping off. And I started failing all my classes and shit like that, so I was like, fuck it.
Around 2009, he released his debut mixtape called Procrastination Kills, following it up with Progression around October of that year. The mixtape sat well with the public and it captured the attention of fellow classmate D. Will, who went on to become his manager. The pair worked around the clock to mold Kirko's image and successfully released the sequel mixtape Procrastination Kills 2 around 2010. I was a junior in college when I dropped out. I went to college to chase my rap career, and when I got there I used the networking, and when I felt like I got to a climax with what I needed from college, I got on the radio and was like, man, let's just go full-fledged with the rap. I started just rapping out of my closet and doing videos in my crib at my dorm, and people saw my Facebook videos and YouTube, stuff like that. Then I started going to the DJs. It was pretty much a regular hustle. Kirko's first single, What Your Name Is, started as a 6-minute freestyle, but after listening to it, he realized the song had the potential to be a banger and decided to rework it. In an ode to Houston, Kirko fine-tuned the song with the help of his production team, instructing them to make it slow and knock, and then being convinced by the producers to use autotune. It was pretty much his first time using the effect, so he was pretty skeptical about the decision, but he bowed down to the experts. His manager D. Will then convinced him to cut the song to 3 minutes, after which they released it as a debut single around 2011. The new song caught the attention of a talent scout from Warner Brothers and eventually led to a contract deal. It also landed on the charts, peaking at number 41 on the Billboard Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart. Following this, he released his third mixtape called Procrastination Kills 3 around 2011. In the same year, he released a single called Drake in My Cup. Now, this is the song that actually pushed Kirko Bangz to the peak of his career, with the song snagging the number 1 spot on the US Billboard Hot Rap Songs chart. It made it to number 28 on the Billboard Hot 100 and was eventually certified platinum. Now, when most rappers get a major hit like this, they usually try to use this momentum to release an album. Kirko should have taken advantage of his hype at the time of releasing this mega hit. However, he failed to do that and went on to release more mixtapes. Around 2012, he released a mixtape called Progression 2, A Young Texas Player. He then released the fourth and last installment of the Procrastination Kills series around September of 2012 before calling it a year. This was probably a good idea because he had an absolutely crazy 2013. He kicked off the year with a fight at a concert in Kansas. Now, during the video, which briefly went viral, you can see tensions brewing between a drunk Kirko Bangz and what appears to be an equally drunk and disrespectful fan. Kirko then threw the first punch, which panicked the surrounding concert goers and caused a bunch of fans as well as security to jump in and separate the pair, who were at this point actively fighting each other. The concert was briefly stopped before order was restored, and luckily no charges were pressed. In this same year, it was announced that Kirko would form part of XXL magazine's 2013 freshman class. The artists featured on the cover of the magazine usually consist of underground and up-and-coming artists that are bubbling up.
Just stay going hard, keep going hard, man. But most of all, man, just stay humble. Stay humble and stay true to the things I believe in and stay loyal to the people that I came up with. A couple months, I'm gonna be on XXL cover, one deep, you know what I'm saying? I wanna be on top of the game, you know what I'm saying? I wanna be that dude that everybody knows.
Needless to say, it was a pretty dope moment for Kirko, as the spots were highly sought after and proved that he had essentially made it. That year, he featured alongside the likes of Travis Scott, Logic, and Joey Badass. Now, despite this massive victory, Kirko soon felt snubbed when that same month, Beyoncé dropped her single Bow Down I've Been On. The single pays homage to her hometown, and the remix featured several well-known Houston-bred rappers. Now, if you've been paying attention to R&B and hip-hop for the past 2 decades, you would have noticed that artists that hate on Beyoncé tend to not last very long in the music game. Carrie Hilson, remember her? The list goes on. Dissing Beyoncé is not a good career move, and Kirko Bangz did just that when Beyoncé dropped her single Bow Down I've Been On, and felt snubbed when he was not asked to feature on the remix. He called her decision to leave him off the song weak and felt very disrespected by this move. This may have been because he was fairly new to the rap scene and the other rappers were more veteran level, but either way he felt disrespected and wasn't shy to express it when asked. In the same year, he released a third installment of the Progression series, much to his fans' delight, and throughout the year featured in several well-known singles. These include Friends with Benefits by Master P and Know What's Up with Tory Lanez. The only solo single he released that year was That Pole, which featured on his 2012 mixtape Procrastination Kills 4. Now, after being moved to Atlantic Records, it was finally time for Kirko Bangz to build the hype up for his upcoming album. He then released the first single from it called Ho, featuring YG and Yo Gotti, a song that hit the public around January of 2014. The song unfortunately didn't exactly do well for his career, as it only made it to number 110 on the US Billboard's Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart. This made it his lowest charting single, as it did not even make it to the Billboard Hot 100. Around this time, Kirko was pushing his album called Bigger Than Me, and around July of 2014, he released his second single from the album called Rich, one which featured August Alsina. This single did even better than his previous one, but wasn't exactly a smash. So tired of sleeping on the floor. I wanna His fans were slightly confused though, as he was dropping singles for and promoting his debut album, and yet no album was actually appearing. Instead, he dropped more mixtapes, dropping Progression 4 and Progression 5 in the same year. Unfortunately, the promised Bigger Than Me album never materialized, and Kirko left the label soon afterwards. Refusing to be deterred, Kirko Bangz kept at it, and around 2015 announced that he had signed a deal with 300 Entertainment, where he joined the likes of Fetty Wap, Young Thug, and the Migos as fresh signees. Around 2015, Kirko finally released his first EP called The Falling Up Mix on his own, despite being signed to a label at the time. The EP also featured Worry About It, a single that was made alongside his fellow 300 Entertainment signee, Fetty Wap. His first official project with 300 Entertainment was Player Made, which dropped around February of 2016. Kirko then went on to release more mixtapes and did not record an album with the label. To date, he has not released an official studio album, which is quite sad because the music he was making back then is what a lot of kids are making right now. Now, Kirko Bangz has had some issues in his career, but the highlight so far was an altercation that took place during a trip to Mexico around 2016. Megan Reynolds, the man who had worked security that night, said of the altercation. One of the men that was in the altercation turned around and started hitting him, and so they got into a fight. We separated the two. We took that man over to the corner, and then as soon as we took him away, his friend picked up a bottle, hitting him over the head with it. Now this is a pretty confusing statement, so let's just break it down for a second. As locals had it, Kirko Bangz was celebrating his birthday at La Sierra nightclub and was scheduled to perform. After Kirko Bangz made some slick comments dissing the local rappers, someone in the crowd threw a bottle at him. A fight then ensued, and according to the rumors, Kirko Bangz got his chain snatched. Later on, via his Twitter, Kirko Bangz went on to address the rumors by saying the following: "I can't answer everybody, but nah, I ain't get jumped or robbed or beat up." The news soon faded into the background and no charges were laid. Now, despite being a public figure, it appears Kirko enjoys being a private person in some parts of his personal life. The birth of his son, for instance. His fans barely knew he was a father, and he had denied all allegations about it until the tragic loss of the baby. Unfortunately, around October of 2020, Kirko Bangz had to announce the death of his son. The news broke, leaving his fans devastated. He refused to disclose how the boy passed away, leaving his fans to guess at what happened. The caption read, "Fly high, big man. We love you so much. We had so much planned that we won't be able to do no more. But we know you're in a better place and in no more pain. Watch over your mom cause she needs your strength more than ever before right now, Papa man. I know you don't hurt no more. And I try to make myself think of that so as to find a little bit of light in this. God got you, Papa. I love you." Kirko felt low after the death of his son and paid homage to him a lot in his new music. In December, he released a single from his new album, Now That You're Here, titled Away. Furthermore, in a tribute to his son, Kirko made a rap about Trey Songz's death from Trey Songz's own perspective. The track is titled Trey Songz's Letter and shed some light about the death of his son, hinting about some hidden illness. Ain't no more cold rooms, ain't no more treatments, mama. All them surgeries was weighing on me. I got weaker, mama. A few months later, the album was ready for release. Just like they did for Nipsey Hussle's Proud to Pay pack, Kirko on his social media announced a limited edition $85 bundle for the album. The pack, which had just about 1,000 units made, was released alongside a digital copy of the album. Also part of the pack included a hoodie with the album name inscribed, a signed CD, and finally a music video. Now, as far as sales go, this album did not do major numbers. In fact, it didn't even make it to the Billboard 200 charts. Instead, the album peaked at number 17 on the Apple Music Rap chart. The project had Kirko working with several artists like Slim Thug, a fellow Houston-bred artist, where they worked on Still Holding, and Lil Durk, where they worked on Violent. Relationship-wise, Kirko Bangz is single at present. He has, however, been in several relationships in the past. He was with an American dancer named Hazel Montana from 2010 to 2014. On breaking up with Hazel, he started dating an American model named Rain Guerra, who became the mother of his late child. Unfortunately, the pair did not last very long and broke up around 2015. Since then, he has remained solo. Kirko seems to have moved past his previous setbacks and appears to be back and better than he ever was before. He went on to work on his Progression mixtape series, and having dealt with so many not so exceptional record labels and having to deal with their rules and regulations, he now has his own record label to his name. The name of his record label is called Always Progressing Records, and it's through his own record label that he dropped Now That You Hear. When talking about the project, Kirko said the following: "I recorded myself, arranged, put the album rollout together, chose album cover, made pre-album trailer, got video shot, uploaded songs to TuneCore, got songs mixed, negotiated my own termination of my label contract, started my own label, got website done, found new producers off YouTube and IG, got features, everything you can think of on this album, I did it myself." Not saying you don't need a team, but when nobody believed, including myself, and after I seen tragedy in my life, I woke up and I've been charged up ever since. Released around 2016 and 2018 respectively, Work Something and Date Night are some of his most well-known works to date. Kirko Bangz still releases music periodically and teases his songs on his verified IG handle at Kirko Bangz. He's now fully independent and chooses to manage his career in his own way. Around 2016, he joined Love and Hip Hop Houston, bringing more entertainment to the fans that follow his life. Kirko Bangz gets about 900,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and his most popular songs on the platform are Drank in My Cup, Work Some, Date Night, Worry About It, and What Your Name Is. That's it for me. It's your boy Ali.
With it.
Hey, baby!
It's live at 5. Oh no. Oh no. He gonna hit it. Oh no, not 3. Oh my God. Okay. He backs it. Oh no.
What happened to Kirko Bangz in your opinion? Let me know down below. If you have a video request, be sure to let me know as well. New What Happened To video dropping next week. Also add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music. Till next time, adios.